good to see you. I have a question. Have you ever heard of a Brigadeiro? It's a Brazilian dessert, very popular over there, and a lot of their desserts are made with condensed milk. I'm going to put a little picture here before I go on so you'll see what they look like. They're super easy to make. My grandson Aaron, who graduated, and I think many of you saw his graduation picture and his video online, he's having a big party tomorrow, a graduation party. Of course, it's been a heat wave here all week, so hot, like close to 100 degrees, bad humidity here in New Jersey, and tomorrow they're calling for thunderstorms, so say a prayer. I hope not, because they put a lot of work into planning this party. It's going to be outdoors. They have a lot of tents and decorations and all kinds of things. So fingers crossed that it doesn't rain. So anyway, being the Baking Diva, they always want me to make some kind of a dessert for these holidays and events. And I'm thinking to myself, what can I make that's a little bit different? Because they're going to have, you know, the traditional brownies and cookies. And oh, I think my daughter's going to have one of those big, do you ever see them, donut boards? And there's a saying she's putting on it, and it has big pegs, and all the pegs have donuts on them. So I wanted to do something different. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make these Brigadeiros because they make such a fantastic presentation and they are so good. They are basically described as heaven. Brigadeiros, they say, taste like chocolate fudge melting in your mouth. They're little balls and they're rolled in chocolate sprinkles. And they're put in little, I put them in gold foil cups like you see in the picture. And they're very easy to make. So that's what we're going to do today. You only need a few ingredients. You basically only need a can of condensed, sweetened condensed milk, a little bit of salted butter, pinch of salt, and some unsweetened cocoa powder. And then, of course, your sprinkles. So I'm going to head over to the stove and I'm going to show you firsthand exactly how we make these. And you have to pay attention because there's a little bit of a trick to it. So come on over with me and we'll make this Brazilian dessert right now. Okay, the first thing you're going to do is take a plate and you're going to grease that plate with butter. Then we're coming over to the stove where we are now, and you're going to take a non-stick saucepan, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it. First thing you're going to do is obviously turn on your gas. Now it's very important that you use either a spatula or a wooden spoon. Do not use any kind of a metal spoon for this. Now in the pot, I'm going to put one 14-ounce can of, hopefully you can see it, sweetened condensed milk. This is very popular in Brazil. Many of their desserts are all made with condensed milk. And this is what's going to give sweetness to our little balls. And get all that in there. Very thick. Get a spoon so I can make sure I get it all out of there. Here we go. All right, so we get our can of sweetened condensed milk in there. I always keep these in my cabinet because you can use these for a lot of things. And this recipe yields about 20 of these balls. So obviously I'm going to be making a lot more. So when I'm done here, I will continue on off camera. Okay. Next, I'm going to put in there, let me see, a tablespoon of butter. So I've already cut a tablespoon here. Let me just put the butter in. There we go. Okay. Okay, next I have here some Hershey's unsweetened cocoa. Hopefully you can see that. Use any unsweetened cocoa that you like. And I'm going to put 3 tablespoons of that in there. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put in just a little pinch of salt for flavor. All right. Now with my rubber spatula, I'm going to stir this. Now this is going to take about, I'm going to say about 10 minutes. Now I'll try to hold up the pan in a few minutes, but you will know when this is done. First we're getting it all mixed up, and you'll know when it's done when you take this spatula and you run it across the middle of the pan, and part of it goes to the right side and part of it goes to the left side. Because once I get this all mixed, I'm going to put it on, remember I told you that plate that we greased with butter? See, I'm mixing it. It's all getting mixed together. And then once I get it the way I want it, and I'll show you how we like to have it, you're going to put it in the refrigerator for, I guess, probably, I would say, an hour. And that's important because this has to be chilled. Because we're going to be rolling this into balls. And you're not going to be able to roll it. See how it's coming? You're not going to be able to roll it into balls if it's hot and sticky. So I'm going to keep stirring this. Just like this. And when it gets to the way I want it, I'm going to hold up the pan so that you can see it. And then we're going to transfer it over to that buttered pan. This is such an easy recipe to make. Really it is. And I haven't found anybody who doesn't like it. And when you see them out on the platter, and I have the little tiny gold foil cups I put them in, I ordered them from Amazon because I couldn't find them in the store. I'm not talking about like the small cupcake liners. These are actually made for candy. So when we get to that part, I'll show it to you. So see how we're mixing this all up and it's starting to thicken? I'm using my rubber spatula or a wooden spoon you can use. I thought this would be something a little different and special for the party. Trust me, they'll disappear in a heartbeat. Now, we are also going to need, my son says I'm old-fashioned. You know the chocolate sprinkles? I'll show them to you later. I call them jimmies. He says nobody calls them jimmies anymore. I said sure they do. I do. You're going to need chocolate jimmies, and you're going to need those little foil cups I'll show you. So if you want, while you're waiting for this to thicken, you can take another plate and pour your chocolate jimmies into that plate. So you'll have two plates. You'll have the one that's greased with butter, and then you'll have one that has the jimmies in it. And then you'll have your little cups. So this is starting to thicken. You see that? It's not ready yet though. I'll show you what it has to look like when it's ready. It'll start to pull away from the sides, and you'll be able to split it right down the middle so that they don't meet each other. Should be done in a few minutes. See how it's starting to come away from the sides of the pan? That's good. But when I'm running the spatula through the middle, it's not separating, so it's not done yet. I mean, this is so easy. Basically, you put everything in a pan, you let it cool, you roll it into balls and sprinkles, and well, that's it. Do I want to lick that? You bet. But I'm not going to because it's hot. Oh, my spatula, what does it say? Life is short, eat dessert first. I've had this a long time, and on the back it has all the measurements. Cups, ounces, tablespoons, teaspoons, and millimeters. All right, let me see if this is done yet. You see how it's pulling away from the side of the pan? That's what you needed to do. Now let me check it down the middle. I'm afraid if I hold this up. You see how that's separated in the middle? I hope you can see it. That's what you want it to do. So this is really done. And then we're going to swing on over to the island, and we're going to put this onto our greased dish, and then we're going to put it in our refrigerator for about an hour. See? It came away from the side of the pan, and that's what it needs to do. Okay, now I'm going to put it all into the greased and buttered pan. Just like that. Get it all out of there. And it's going into the fridge for 1 hour. So go help yourselves a nice cold drink. Go relax a little bit, and I'll be back and show you how we finish off these delicious, yummy Brigadeiros. So come on back. Okay, it's been about an hour. I just took out the mixture. It says you can either wet your hands or butter your hands. I'm buttering my hands. I think that might work better. All right, so what you can do is take a tablespoon, or I have one of these, whichever works better for you. And the first thing you're going to do is take some of your mixture. See what I have here? You're going to roll it in your hand into a nice ball. Just like, oh! Okay, Dolores, that wasn't very good. Okay, so you're going to take about a tablespoon. You're going to roll it into a nice ball, either with your wet hands or your buttered hands. And you're just going to, now listen to me, don't roll them in here, place it in there. And keep doing it until you have them all in the sprinkles. Because if you do them one at a time, you're going to have a mess all over your hands and have to be washing your hands every time you put them in the sprinkles. So it's easier to do it this way. Just get yourself get them in a nice ball, just like that, and just plop it down there. Whoopsie. So I'm going to keep doing these off camera. I have my little paper cups over here to put them in. And I have a plate here to put them in after I'm done. But this is all you do. Get them into a nice ball. Make sure your hands are clean. You see, by putting the butter in the plate here, it doesn't make the mixture stick to it. And then it comes right off. And the balls don't have to be big. They're going to be small. Put it right in there. Let me tell you, they look so cute out on the platter. And people grab for them. And as soon as they taste one, they're like, oh, geez, these are good. Just try to make a nice ball. So I'm going to finish doing these off camera. And then I'll be back and show you what we do with what I call the little jimmies, but you can call them sprinkles. Chocolate sprinkles you use for these. As you can see, I rolled all the balls now, and I just placed them in the little sprinkles. Now what you're going to do is roll them around in there. See, it's a lot easier when you roll them all together. And then I have my little gold cups. I'm going to put my cup there. You roll these in the sprinkles and you plop one in the cup. Now I'll give you a close-up later, but look how adorable these look. And when you have a whole platter of these, oh boy, they look really good. So we're just going to roll these all around in here. When they're covered, I'm going to put them in the little cups. Now, my son is over there and he wants to taste one. So if he comes in and puts his hand out, I'll give him one to taste. And trust me, he'll give me his honest opinion. But I'm not going to give him one in a cup. He doesn't need one in a cup. Here, I'll just roll his. Here, Scott. Let me know what you think. Here's the Brazilian dessert masterpieces I made. This is one recipe. I got about 20 or so. And I'll be making more tonight because these will go in a heartbeat at the party. It'll be like first come, first serve. So these are so delicious. I hope you enjoyed the video. They taste like little mouthfuls of fudge that melts in your mouth. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe and give me a thumbs up. So I'm going to eat one of these, and I'm sure everyone is going to enjoy them at Aaron's graduation party. So thanks for watching. Love you all. Toodles! Look at that. So good.